Oh, hello, unmuting camera. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the short answer. It's great to be with you as always. Wonderful to connect with you. And we have a wonderful talk, little snippet ready and available for you this evening, which is about you are the healer and you are the healing. And so all of the above are true, and we're here to bring that to life. So I just have a couple of announcements to make for you before we dive into that. And it's wonderful to connect with you here again, as always. So we have a couple of fabulous things happening right now. There is a webinar coming up that is about your superpowers. So I don't mean like, ta-da, Superman superpowers, but I kind of do, because it is an aspect of you that is that we're wanting to bring forward, to draw out to the surface of your life. And so they are beyond the regular 5 sensory powers that we're used to utilizing in this world. There is more to you than that, and that's where I want to head with this. So there's going to be a webinar tomorrow evening, actually. I don't know what time it is. It's 8 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow evening. And then there's also going to be another one on Saturday. If you can't make Thursday night, you can make Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Those are both Eastern times. It's 90 minutes. You're going to plug in, and then there's going to be live Q&A time, and you'll be able to come on and ask your questions and hear others that have never met us before asking questions and getting to plug into these wonderful ideas that we get to share in Mortar Institute. There is also an online challenge, May 1 through May 4, coming up, an online challenge. You know, we love our challenges. We get so much great feedback about our challenges and people plugging in and really recognizing their amazing access to aspects of themselves that they never knew before. And so this challenge is about taking charge in your life, just a recharge, jumpstart type of thing. But it's more than that. It's about drawing some energy forward that we get to work with in an ongoing basis, day in and day out. So show up for that. Take the challenge. Come on, don't make me do it alone. And then we also have a global event after that challenge, which will be held on Thursday evening, May 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And it is, of course, celebrating everyone who went through the challenge and hearing about what happened and sharing and celebrating that. And we'll also be tapping in around the world and really wanting to share our power to connect with one another and supporting people on the other side of the planet. So it's a perfect opportunity to show up and really be able to make the difference in the world the way that we all truly want to. And as soon as we get out of our own stuff, we're able to. And so why not do both with the challenge and then the global celebration after? So that's May 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the evening of the 4th. So great way to spend the week. Okay, so we also have enrollment for the year-long teacher certification is still open through the end of May. So we have, it isn't just for teacher certification, it's for a deeper study with yoga. We work all the time on refining that program, and it is a beauty. We just spent more time today working on the manual and the details of all of this to give you everything that you want to know about how to do these asanas and what they affect and how you can truly make a difference in your life. And if you would choose to be a teacher in the lives of others by simply holding your yoga classes and inviting people in person or online, or a lot of ways to do that. So many people have found it so fulfilling to be informed and involved in really sharing and paying this message forward in all ways possible. So that's open. Just connect with us about the Body Awake Yoga Teacher Certification Program. The next monthly healing transmission is Wednesday, April 26th. Wednesday, April 26th, the next monthly healing transmission, which is complimentary, of course, and you don't have to know anything about meditation to just receive and perceive and really animate, activate these beautiful energies that we are made of and that are healing, which we're going to speak about in just a moment as well. We also have date changes for the May class for this short answer and the master class. They are now May 24th instead of the 17th. 17th is out, 24th is in. That's what we're doing for the next short answer masterclass. And then, of course, if you are a member of the gold membership, we follow the short answer here with a masterclass, which is just such a delight. You get to come on, ask your questions, and we put them all up on a big board, not in question form, but in picture form. So we're doing modern day hieroglyphs, and then we're creating a conversation that ties all of the answers together. And I love it because it infuses and activates a sense of certainty and well-being inside of your own consciousness. So there's a transmission that happens while we're answering these individual questions, and so much fun to do that because we start to see that all our questions are related and that we share that, and that our answers are interrelated, and that it boils down to a few basic principles that we can learn to live with and extrapolate into our lives in all sorts of other ways. So it's a really wonderful way for you to get involved with this work at a very low fee and be able to engage on a regular basis and get your questions answered and contribute to the course work. Okay, so we have, that's what I'm going to go over today. It looks like, I don't know what the rest of that stuff is. Some other stuff there, but that's good. All right, we're good to go. Okay, so the short answer this evening is, it's about you are the healing. You are the healer, you are the healing. Your very presence here is healing. And it's so interesting to try to remember that. And until we really start to embody it, it's something that very easily slips away because dramas happen in life. People are dramatic and they draw you into their drama. They project their drama onto you. Maybe you have patterns of drama in your own consciousness and you dupe yourself in a way on a conscious thinking level. But I want you to know that underneath all of that, there is a version of you that is the healer. There is a version of you that actually came to stand in the middle of that kind of chaos and learn to hone yourself, ground yourself, central channel breathe, right? If you're in this work at all, you know what the central channel breathing is, and you can find all sorts of descriptions of that on our YouTube channel and in the book, The Energy Codes. So what you need to know is that you're the solution. And it's so easy to start carrying a problem that perhaps isn't yours to carry. And so let's say that something has happened in your life that really, kind of buckled you over. I had one of those very recently that kind of buckled me over. And I recognized that it buckled me over initially because this person was operating in a way that I would never do. And it's a way that I actually spend my life teaching people not to do. And so, take that. And so it's perfect practice. It always is when it happens. And there is also a couple of things that we need to recognize. That we are the healer means that when these things come our way, our job is to not try to go heal them or to not absorb what has been said as if it's true about you or this or that or whatever the circumstances may be, but to stand and remember who you are in the middle of that. Because it's an example of what happens when humanity is not taking personal responsibility. They're projecting the principles that happen once someone is on object and not on themselves as subject, they start to feel lacking and afraid and less than, and they then get afraid, and then they get competitive and comparative, and then they get judgmental, and all sorts of things then have to happen in order for them to make themselves feel better about how they're operating, about who they are. And it's a projection, and it's painful for the recipient. And it's important to remember it's also painful for the one who's, dishing it out and tossing it your way. And so your job is not to go and fix. Your job is not to heal them. Your job is to stand as the healing. And the way that we do that is connect into the earth as deep as you can go, or maybe just a couple of feet into the earth. I oftentimes talk about chakra 10 and how valuable it is to just get into the earth right underneath where you are and just start breathing in your belly and open your hips and your legs and your feet in a way that allows you to drop in to your body. Because when things like this happen, we get drawn up into our head trying to make sense out of it, being flabbergasted, being distraught in the circumstances. How could this happen? Who is this? What's going on? How could they not know? What, on and on and on. And each of us have these types of experiences at some point in our lives or another. And what we want to make sure that we're doing is allowing for it to play the role that it's intended to play. So where in the body are you activated? And hug that area and begin to breathe. And begin to breathe right there with that area without even trying to rush that up and down the central channel. Stay with it. Just stay internal, stay on subject, and allow for the breathing and the nurturing and the cultivating of this to be real, to be you finding a version of yourself that can stand in the storm, no matter what vortex is happening in the storm, whether it's a tornado type or a nor'easter type or the winds across the plains or thunder and lightning or, the variety that comes. No matter what, can I open and let this blow through me? But most of all, can I sit here in the deep core vessel of the truth of who I am and allow that vessel to be nurtured, especially in these circumstances, not in spite of them, but especially because of them. Because in that moment, what happens is we reach more deeply into self, and we feel and we sense and we work our way into a version of ourselves that we maybe have never known. And as we do this, we tap a deeper well than was available or obvious or conscious just a moment before. And usually these types of things happen when things are going really great and things are really, up-leveled and things are harmonizing and it's going along really great. And the next thing you know, boom, an evolution is upon you. And so what happens when we drop in and feel this and let it be real, what we're feeling, without trying to grind on it too much, but to feel it and give yourself permission to do that? What happens is you set free a version of you that apparently wasn't free before. Because if it had been free in real time, the very instant that this thing occurred, it would have blown right through you without impacting you at all. So there was something there for it to hit. And I know that for me, I was putting a little too much confidence and a little too much, effort into, not effort, but opening way, and maybe even allowing for too much of something to be in that dynamic. And I can sense into that and feel it. And so it's about righting the ship, dropping in and allowing self to be the master, really being open to allowing true self to be the master and being willing to walk the path that one would guide you into. And so as we do this, what we're doing is allowing a greater healer to rise, a greater healer to rise. And so I was in conversation with a very dear friend, and we brought up the Bodhisattva, which is, back from Buddhism, and in terms of awakening, it means one who's on the path to the Bodhi, meaning in our language, one who's on the path to transcending the primitive brain and staying the course consistently, letting nothing knock you off of that, but staying the course and allowing something to rise that would allow us to emerge up through the trap door and truly awaken more and more and more and more into our wholeness, into our true self and our destiny and dharma here on the planet. And so anyone who is on this path would be aligning in terms of what I'm speaking about. And it is often said that the Bodhisattva is walking as a broken heart, has a broken heart. Their heart is broken regularly. And she was sharing with me that she never really understood that when she first heard it, and that it came to to make sense as time went on and life unfolded, etc., that we know that when we are walking as the healer and we are walking as the healing itself, that many, many times we will be disillusioned by what humanity does. And many, many times we will be brokenhearted or broken open by this. And the way that I like to reference that is that our heart doesn't break. It doesn't break like in half, like we picture the broken heart. It breaks open. And as it breaks open or we break into it, what happens is it starts to be able to alchemize our lives in a better way, in a bigger way, in a more comprehensive way. And so it becomes ever increasingly important that we feel that and keep walking, that we feel it and keep breathing, that we feel it and stay with it. Not just feel it for a minute and then just get up and pull yourself up by the bootstraps and go. It's not that. It's day after day, tender moment by tender moment, be present with what you know love can be. Be present with celebrating what you know love can do, instead of being upset that someone doesn't know that and they've thrown the responsibility of that in your lap or thrown it onto you in some way that was hurtful to you. So rather than being victimized by it, here's what we do. We stand, we breathe, we align, we remember that opening this heart space is exactly what to do in a moment like this, and allow the uprising of anything that has ever hijacked that, anything that has ever short-circuited that, any way that you have ever hesitated on pouring your love and your empowered presence forward into life, anything that has ever caused you to feel that you should pause or wait or hesitate or not, may we allow that as the healer rises and as the healing unfolds, that you realize that the love that you know could exist, can exist, if you'll allow it to keep pouring out of you no matter what. And these types of circumstances can give you reference points for, even in the face of that, even in the face of that, even in the face of this, I'm having this and I'm going to open and I'm going to keep breathing. And pretty soon what happens is the solar plexus becomes one with the heart. And so the sun of the solar plexus, the power of 1,000 suns is in this solar plexus, becomes as big as the heart. And when they start to merge, what happens is the wisdom that is stored underneath both of them in your deep below the navel, second chakra, creative womb, wisdom center gets to rise. And so your reason for coming actually gets to emerge more, because you're walking this path and allowing the path circumstances to actually hone your ability to allow the healer that you are to rise. And so here's what we want to remember. You are the healer. You are the healing. By being here, you agreed to come in and generate and hone a beautiful, loving presence in the place of chaos, to bring it, to hold it, to breathe it, and to walk your path. Circumstances may define your path, may allow you to recognize shape-shifting any set of circumstances that you might be operating in the future, and making no decisions based on reaction, but really based on more what's rising as a byproduct of that. So walk on as the healer and allow the healing to be done simply because you're willing to stand and breathe and not absorb and not question self, but to allow anything that is truly speaking to you to be medicine for you. And if there are circumstances in it that cause you to dig in a little deeper, then allow that healer to rise from a deeper place within you because of it, and continue to breathe and continue the loving presence that you are. So I'm hoping that this is helpful for you to remember that you are the healing, you are the healer. But the attention, of course, is not on trying to heal others. May they recognize the grace with which you walk and perhaps be imprinted by it Most of all, may you know the beauty that you truly are. All right, so let us be blessed. I'm going to start the master class in the bottom of the hour in about 7 minutes or so, it looks like, and I will see you there. I look forward to sharing that with you, as well as any of the things that we've listed that are coming up. There's a lot happening with Mortar Institute in the next few weeks if you want to plug in and have some amazing input and exchanges with people from all over the world in lots of different settings. So I look forward to whatever way we get to connect next. Bye-bye for now.